Hello and welcome to another episode of Hallmark. I'm Kristen.
I'm Aya.
And Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Yes, this episode's coming out on Christmas Day.
Wild.
So you better ditch your families, open up Spotify.
Just have your headphones in while you're eating
You're
lunch.
And then when you laugh, because we're so funny,
Yeah.
people think you're laughing at their stories when you're not.
Yeah.
We
are
are
doing everyone a service.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sure.
Great, now I'm just picturing everyone listening at Christmas lunch. But it's good because we are talking about Christmas movies.
Yes.
And we decided, because it's Christmas Day, we would give the gift of a movie that maybe everyone's seen.
Yeah. Not these like... what are the movies, no, I'm just not going to talk because I can't think of the word I want to say. You know the movies where people like, it's like really abstract. Obscure, like, obscure Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Not that Hallmark is obscure, but...
No, but hopefully we are bringing some more people into the fold of Christmas joy.
Yes.
In the format of A Christmas Prince.
Yeah. Netflix original, isn't it?
It is, and I was like, this movie isn't that old. 2017.
Yeah. Do you know what? Because I had watched this before.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
And then when you rewatch it, you go, ooh, that fashion speaks of a specific time.
But it's only like 7 years ago.
I know. It feels so long ago.
I know.
Yeah.
But if you haven't watched A Christmas Prince 1, 2, or 3 on Netflix, what is the first one about?
So the first one, according to IMDb, when a reporter goes undercover as a tutor to get inside scoop on a playboy prince, she gets tangled in some royal intrigue and ends up finding love. But will she be able to keep up her lie? That's it. What's the character's name?
Amber.
Amber.
She's undercover as Martha.
Amber's like a reporter in New York, or she's an editor, a junior editor. They're very specific in the script that she's a junior editor. She gets given an assignment to go to Andalasia?
Yeah.
Aldova? What's Andalasia? Did I make that up? That's from something.
Isn't that from Princess Diaries as one of the princesses?
No. I don't know, because that's Genovia.
Yeah.
But this is Aldovia. I literally wrote a note. Aldovia, Genovia, what's the diff? So there's a prince from Aldovia who's got a bad boy reputation, and she has to go and get the inside scoop. When she cannot get the inside scoop, she sneaks into the castle and pretends to be the prince's younger sister's tutor, Martha. And then obviously she's like the outcast, and lots of things happen.
So many things.
Is he going to be king? Because his father died the previous Christmas. Is he not going to be king? Will his cousin take over the role?
It's very Princess Diaries 2 in its plot, except it's not happening to the princess, it's happening to the prince.
He technically doesn't have to marry in order to be king. He just literally just needs to be like, yes, I'm doing it, and it has to be by a certain date. And then, they fall in love. Eventually her secret is revealed, and it's all good.
2 thumbs up.
The cousin in there, tries to sabotage. It kind of works for a bit. He almost becomes king.
Very, very close. Seconds away from
being king, and then... And
loophole.
There's a loophole. What was the loophole?
They found the new amendment.
Yeah, there's an amendment, because that's right. Prince, what's his name? Edward?
Prince Richard.
I don't know who Edward is. I think Edward...
He's from Andalasia.
No, I'm thinking of Prince Edward from Prince and Me, Prince and Me, with Julia Stiles.
Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah, she's got an upside down smile.
She does.
Just a fun fact. So he's technically not the king's son.
No,
he was adopted. But then before the king died, that's the plot twist at the end. He amended the rules so that Richard could become king. So that's how that works.
Amazing.
I hope that was clear.
If it wasn't, go back, listen to it again, and see if it can make any more sense.
Or just watch the movie.
Or just watch the movie. Look, Is it the greatest movie
No.
we've ever seen? No. Is it the worst? No.
No, but it's definitely not good. There are so many things. Like I said to you before we started recording, I immediately had to watch The Holiday after just a palate cleanse because I was like, I need something good and something that will actually make me cry.
Yeah.
Rather than this.
Kate Winslet's monologue every time where she's sitting on the couch, I'm just like bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
But one day we'll review a good movie like
Yes. I think you did suggest that, didn't you?
I did suggest The Holiday.
You did. I kind of regret when I watched it after watching this. I was like, oh, we should have just done The Holiday. But then what can you say about a good movie?
Do you know what though? I reckon next year, just put it out there, we do Love Actually. Because I think if I watched it first time only like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it is not a good movie.
I don't like watching it.
It is one of those ones that everybody loves.
I don't get it.
It makes it, but it's so problematic.
Yeah.
It would trump every Hallmark movie we've ever watched in terms of problematic material.
Yeah.
But we digress. Yet again.
All right,
let's talk about A Christmas Prince.
Yeah.
We'll talk about others later. This one has Rose McIver in it, she's a New Zealand actress.
Is she?
Yeah, who was in Once Upon a Time. She played Tinkerbell, and she's in one of my favourite shows of all time, iZombie, who are from the creators of Veronica Mars. And so Ben Lamb played Prince Richard, and he's been in like Divergent and The White Queen, and like it's a very good cast.
But why? That's so surprising because that they are in good things, and clearly you have to be talented to be put into those things. So where was the talent in this? Because I didn't see it.
I think it's that like it's the Hallmark way of acting, which is a legitimate style in its own right.
Yeah.
Where everything is just like either super dramatic,
yes,
or over the top, or everything's great, everything's positive, everything's amazing.
I think it's also hard to act when the script is not that good. Like that's a real difficult task for sure.
My first note is that it is made very clear that she is a junior editor.
Yes.
Amber is a junior editor.
We're junior editors is the line that she says
all the time.
Or like her friend
for the
says.
first 3 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Is then given the opportunity to write a story, which she didn't think was going to come. She's applied for other jobs to be a reporter and turned down. So she's like, I'm just going to do the hard yards here. Her boss, for some reason, is like, nobody else is available and you're a girl, so I'm going to send you. And so her first story ever is this.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, does that happen?
I had a lot of those moments in that movie. Does that happen?
Does that happen? Like, as people who are in journalism, if you could let us know, what was your first story? Because I don't know if it would have been traveling to do a high profile and like investigative reporting type of deal.
And also considering she doesn't come across as someone who has a backbone either, because the opening scene is she's a junior editor.
What?
Yeah, I know.
We've said it now more than they've said it.
Yeah, actually, that's true. She's a junior editor, and she's junior editing a story. And the guy is quite rude to her. Like, the journalist is quite rude to her. She's like, it's fine. Kind of cowers a bit. So, and even when she gets offered it, I think she even says it. She's like, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. But, like, why are you giving this to me?
Yeah.
Shut up. Just take it.
But then had she just taken it, we would have been sitting here saying,
why?
Why wouldn't you say, hey, got me?
Why did the junior editor get offered this big story? But to be fair, we're still wondering that, even though we know why no one else was available.
Nobody else was available. When she finds out that it's Prince Richard that she's covering, she doesn't really know who he is. And so her friends pull up all these photos of him and are like, look at him, he's so attractive, la la la. And she's like, well, he's just not my type. And they're like, you've never met this man before.
Yeah, you're basing it on looks.
You're basing it completely on looks, and that's fine. You can have a type in terms of the looks department.
Yeah, that's how the dating apps work.
That's so fine. But the meet cute kind of happens as soon as she lands in Aldovia.
Aldovia, yes.
Aldovia, and she's waiting for a taxi, and there's a line behind her, and Prince Richard, in disguise, so he has sunglasses, a cap, a hoodie, and a beard, a real beard, it's not a fake beard, well,
I mean,
technically
it is a fake
beard,
yeah.
but for the purposes of make-believe, it's a real beard. And he pushes past her, he gets in the cab, and she has a go at him, and he's like, I'm so sorry, and she just goes off at him, and they drive away. And then their next meeting is as Amber as Martha, pretending to be the tutor. And she gets introduced to the Queen and the Prince turns around and he's like, you, and she's like, you. So there's kind of two meet cute moments, I guess.
Yes.
And it's just, I guess it's not a meet cute, it's a meet ugly.
It is.
And that's fine, but it was cringy, and it was just a bit like, okay.
What's not cringe in this movie? I've written this note, and even wrote, was a cringe line. I don't know when she said this. Sorry, it might have been before she arrives in Genovia. Andalasia.
Genovia 2.
Yeah. Genovia 2.0. His royal hotness.
Yeah.
Oh, you should be fired for writing that line.
I wrote, it's the cons for me. So Jersey. Because she has to be like, because she's being portrayed as this like Cinderella kind of role, right? They put her in cons for most of her outfits.
Yes.
And then maroon cons.
Yeah.
Or maroon cons.
Maroon.
Which are brand new. They're very sparkly, but like there's one scene that I remember her wearing boots, and that's because they were going out in the snow.
Yes, so she wore those. They were glued to her feet, even during the ball scene.
Yeah, it was made a point of that she was wearing these cons, and it's this like rough girl from the suburbs coming into, but she's so clean cut, and they just put her like, her color scheme is blue and gray for majority of this movie. So then she's wearing these maroon cons with these, usually a collared button-up shirt and a jumper or a cardigan.
We haven't spoken
or
about
a blazer.
Fashion in a really long time in these movies.
Yeah.
It really stood out to me. The cons for sure. I was like, you need to let these go. Why are you wearing them with everything?
Yeah.
And I think it was a grey coat. Was it?
Grey coat, a grey blazer, a navy blazer. Like, she just constantly looked like she was about to go ride horses.
Just
without
before
boots.
We get back to when they're in Aldovia, the father's accent.
I wasn't really paying attention.
It was like, I don't want to do it.
Go on, you've done it now.
Because he's like, hey, I sound like Fonzie. He's like, oh, what are you doing? Like, it was like, I don't know, some kind of Jersey.
Yeah.
Not Jersey, New York. I don't know how. I'm not gonna do it. Princess, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, no, I'm not. I can't. It's fine.
Our next viral video, everyone.
I just watched it and it was just really uncomfortable. I didn't know if it was real.
Probably not. I wasn't really paying attention at this bit because we'd watched it before.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, Dad's like being cute and like,
sure.
See you later, have the best Christmas. I'll see you when you get back.
Yeah, see you later. When you get back. I sound like Christopher Walken. And I don't mean to. That's not the voice.
That's great. Christmas came early.
And now, can we move forward again, back to where we were.
Yeah.
The background extras, once she gets to Aldovia, like all the people waiting in the line for the taxi, and then as soon as she's in the media conference, car and conference thing, the background extras were something else. Like, really over the top. Even when he took over, like, pushed in front of her to get in the cab. Oh, what? Like, just really over the top.
They had fun.
The director went, go for it.
Go for it.
And they did.
Act.
Yeah. And it was just also really bad, like, the kind of one-off lines with all the reporters as she's walking through, and It's just really bad. It was almost theatrical.
It is almost theatrical.
It gave, acting was so over the top theatre.
Yeah, there is a moment they cancel the press conference that everyone's flown to Aldovia because the prince is like, no, don't want to.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, what? No.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, the nice young lady in the grey coat has a question, or a red scarf, or whatever they point out. She's the only one in the room not wearing black, for starters. So she stands up and she's like, will you be rescheduling the press conference? And everyone's like, great question. Great question.
Yeah. Wouldn't have thought of asking that myself.
Never have thought. And then she just breaks into the castle.
Yeah.
So quickly, so easily.
Yeah, security is lax there.
Security is lax. And it's the first of many photos that she takes on her phone that I feel like...
I hate stuff like that.
I'm taking... It would be like if I was taking photos without my glasses on.
Yes.
I'm just like...
It was so quick, and I was like, well, what are you taking a photo of?
Yeah.
And if you sent those photos to me, I'd be like, go back and try again.
Yes.
Because they were terrible photos.
And of what? Like, what are you taking a photo of the suit of armour for?
Yeah.
That's not the prince.
No.
Is the prince hiding in there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, yes, she meets the royal family. Firstly, his beard, hilarious.
Yes.
Secondly, her curtsy, ridiculous.
Yes.
She does, it's kind of like the curtsy that Katniss Everdeen does in Hunger Games.
I dislike it.
/ Lucy in the new Hunger Games does the same
really
curtsy.
uncomfortable.
It's like the flailing hands and the like, it's just, and like the joke is made after that she doesn't know how to curtsy, but I'm like, surely.
Do you know what this...
You know it's not that.
You know what this reminds me of? And
What?
I don't like saying it,
Uh-oh.
but because I'm a fan of them, Harry and Meghan, when Meghan did her curtsy over the top thing in the documentary.
Yeah,
and everyone
I
made
haven't
fun.
watched it.
Have you seen a clip of it?
No.
It's literally the Mockingjay, that kind of
Why?
curtsy that she did in front of the Queen, apparently. But I don't know if she actually did it like that or if she was just being funny and dramatic.
Right.
But it was an uncomfortable moment in the documentary.
Yeah.
That's what this...
It was uncomfortable.
like, yeah.
Because I'm like, even if you have never curtsied before...
I feel like you would have seen enough movies.
Yeah. To just like, you don't have to do the full one.
Yes.
It can still be graceful. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be jester-like. I'm very confused.
It's so weird because we, in this world where Aldovia is a real country, surely we've seen footage of other royals and people curtsying in front of royals. Like, honestly, I've seen so many curtsies, like, from Kate Middleton and, you know, stuff like that. Or, you know, what are the events where people are knighted and...
Yes.
Or whatever. You know, events where the Queen's walking by and they're all... I would feel confident that if, I guess, Charles now came up to me, I would just do it. I would know how to curtsy without having someone telling me how to curtsy.
Well, also, I guess we live in the Commonwealth, and
Well,
there have
that's
been
true.
times at school where they're like, this is a potential thing that could happen.
Yeah.
We should practice what that looks like. So maybe because they're American...
That's fair. Like,
Weird.
it's not a thing for them, really.
But then again, like, I don't know. I'm also like, we're also musical theatre kids, so like...
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on. Emily, the little sister, comes in,
Yes.
and Emily has spina bifida. Mm-hmm. So she firstly comes in on crutches, and then for the rest of the movie, she's in a wheelchair. And it's very much the idea that she's not a porcelain doll. She doesn't want to be treated like she's fragile. Obviously, though, kind of needs to be slightly careful in terms of how she moves and gets around.
Yeah.
But she has big Veruca Salt energy.
She looks like her, too.
She looks like her. She acts like she's... It's, everything she says that comes out of her mouth is Veruca Salt.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that too. And I was intrigued. I actually looked up the cast, like, where are they now?
Yeah.
She's like 19 or 20 years old. Looks completely different.
Doesn't look like that at all.
It's just like, okay. I mean, obviously kids grow up.
Yeah.
But it looked like two very different people.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I wrote Derelict Santa. Lol. He looks like a derelict with his beard.
With his
he
beard.
looks like Derelict Santa.
Yeah.
So then Amber, like, backs away, curtsying, bowing as she's leaving the room, and it's time to move in, and she backs straight into a vase.
Yeah.
The vase smashes. She bends down and is like, was that expensive? And they were like, no, it's just like thousands upon thousands of years old.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay, and then leaves. So she doesn't try to clean it up.
No.
She doesn't apologize. Yeah. She just is like yeeting out of there.
She did very much yeet out of there.
As per usual, we have an archery scene because this is a movie about a royal family, and that's where the comedy comes from.
Yeah.
Because arrows, they can go anywhere. And this one
went through a window.
And then landed in a painting where it landed in a horse's butt.
But arrow throwing,
archery. Or from now on, the Olympic sport will be arrow throwing.
But oh my god, but archery is also a very romantic kind of thing because it's your opportunity to get very close.
Yes, she had no idea how to archer. No.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
She had no idea how to do it, so he stands behind her and is like guiding her, and then she starts being like, but she will never admit that she has feelings for the prince until the very end.
No, of course.
We don't have a douchebag ex-boyfriend in this movie, but we do have a douchebag cousin.
And a low-key, not very low-key, high-key douchebag ex-girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah. Of the prince.
Yeah.
His name is Simon.
Yes.
And he... The comment is made is that he's always wanted everything that Richard has had. So whether that's girlfriends or the title or whatever. And I'm just like, that would be so sad to have as your personality.
Yeah. But also, like, the chances of you getting it...
Yeah.
Are not that high.
Well, apparently they're super high.
I mean, in this movie they are very high.
Because Emily has no claim to the throne as the daughter.
Yeah.
So it skips her entirely and goes straight from Richard to Simon. That is the line of succession.
Yeah. Yes, she makes a point of that.
She does. We get some more subtle photo taking. It's not subtle at all. It's very...
Is this when he's playing the piano?
No, this is before that at the party. And Emily comes over and is like, are you obsessed with my brother?
Yeah, because you keep taking your phones out. You're taking your phone out and wearing Converse shoes. Like, what's going on?
And that happens again. He's, like, sitting in the conservatory playing the piano.
Playing Christmas songs.
She's just videoing him at the doorway.
But, like... and when I saw that, he doesn't say anything, but I would be like, why is your phone out? Because she's just holding it like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Put your phone away.
Your phone away. Anyway,
oh, sorry, back to the cocktail party.
Yes.
Where, the photo taking. So the cocktail party, they host a cocktail party for esteemed nobility.
Yes.
That is what was said. Next minute. A waitress comes over showing a dish of, like, jellied meat. Mm-hmm. That looked cheap as... like, it looked neon toothpicks. So I know we're nitpicking, but it's the details.
It's fancy Christmas toothpicks.
It's like this royal family nobility party, neon toothpicks in jellied meat.
But we'll make fun of Amber as the help for being at the party.
Yeah.
It is. It's very interesting. They do have a number of events back to back in the castle too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just party central.
Yeah.
So maybe they ran out of the good toothpicks.
But it was so sad. There was like the bigger meat jelly in the middle and like 5 smaller ones. I was like, wow. If I looked at that and went, that looks terrible. That looks like I would have put that together. Doesn't look like a royal family caterer or... I don't know, private chef put that together at all.
It doesn't. And then we meet douchebag cousin Simon. We meet douchebag ex-girlfriend Sophia.
Yeah.
And then Emma's there trying to put everything together, writing her notes on her computer. She video calls her workmates every day.
Yes, they're acting. It's terrible.
I'm assuming they're acting to just, like, a camera in their face being like, oh my goodness, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But after the cocktail party, she's just like, oh, he's not really who I thought he was. I just don't think there's a story here. And her friend says, where there's a tiara, there's dirt. Trust me.
That's what I wrote. I wrote that line too. I thought that was incredible. I want that on a t-shirt.
I want that on a t-shirt. Where there's a tiara, there's dirt.
But do you know,
Trust me.
I've never heard anything more true than that. You think about...
True. I mean...
the current royal family.
True.
The royal family in Denmark.
Yeah.
There's some dirt happening there.
So much dirt.
Yeah.
Except that Richard isn't wearing a tiara.
Yeah. That's true. So it's kind of a stupid line, actually, now that I think about it.
I wrote again, I don't understand what this grey-blue aesthetic is for her. It just...
Yeah, this is where I wrote Converse shoes, because she wore them to that cocktail party.
She wore them to the cocktail party. She wears them to every party.
Yeah.
And then when she pulls out these boots that are basically really nice Timberlands, I was like, that would have been better than Cons. They do a toast at the next party where everyone says, to family and old friends. They all sound like robots. It's wild. I love it. But the thing that I remember the first time I watched this movie, I think this was probably the third watch through, because I watched the first one when the third one came. Like, I watched the first and second one when the third one came out. And what I love most about this movie are the notes that she takes on her laptop.
Incredible.
She basically writes like a full paragraph, full sentences, but then like separates each sentence into dot points.
Yes.
Or makes notes about things, like what she's saying out loud in the notes is not what's on screen.
Yeah, because when she's like the inner, like the voiceover, like monologue, you think she's writing full sentences, then you see her screen and she's not. No. But one of the notes that she kept writing over and over again, have to find out.
Yes. Dot point. Have to find out.
Yeah.
That's the full sentence. It's not, I have to find out what he likes for breakfast. I have to find out what his and Sophia's relationship has been. It's just have to find out.
Yeah.
Have to find out what, Amber?
Yeah.
Have to find out what. It's so good. Then there are a couple of things that I've written down that is just like, don't ride a horse that isn't yours, Amber.
Yeah, I would never just get on a horse.
I would never just get on a horse. Mm-mm. And she gets lost in the snow in the dark, and Prince Richard comes to save her, and then they fall in love.
Yeah.
And then directly after him saving her, she finds a folder full of documents.
Yes.
That then she steals. So then my next note is stealing folders that aren't yours. She really has only child energy. Like, throughout the entire movie, she's just like, but this is what I want to do, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was, I don't know. And, you know, she was found to have the paperwork, you know, who was it? What's her name?
Sophia.
Sophia was like, I found it in her room. Like, I feel like it's very illegal to steal stuff like that.
Royal documentation.
But also, she left it on her bed.
Yeah.
Hide it.
I don't understand. Well, look, this is her very first story. Yes. These are the things you learn with time and smaller stories.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Sophia is trying. All she wants is to be queen.
Yes.
Essentially, is her whole motivation in her life is to be queen. So she suggests that. No.
I don't get that as like just a want. Why do you want to be queen? Because
wealth, fame.
Yeah. I guess so, but I don't. Yeah,
she's grown up in nobility.
In nobility, she has, yes.
Too. So, she accosts Richard and is like, "I have a deal for you. We should get back together." And he's like, "Why do you want to be with me?" And she's like, "Who wouldn't want to be with the king?" And he's like, "Not really an answer." But her line of questioning is more to do with the fact that Martha/Amber is nothing. Like, why would you want to be spending her time with her? She's nothing. He has to say she calls her a peasant.
Yeah, that's
and he
terrible.
says, "Peasant, why don't you join us in the 21st century, Sophia?" And I'm like, yes. I feel like this movie does have a few questionable things, but that is probably the biggest one, where it's just this like, there are a lot of female roles in this movie. The queen is like very down to earth.
Yes.
She's happy to have the conversation. She's happy to call people out on their bullshit.
Yeah.
You have Emily, who's just the brat. Like,
yes.
Big time brat.
Yeah.
Sorry. And comes around eventually.
Yes.
You know?
I agree.
She comes around. She has the Veruca Salt energy, kind of mixed with that Von Trapp energy of, like, they play tricks on their governess.
Yes.
She plays tricks on her tutors.
Yes.
Then you have Amber, who is meant to be this, like, clueless go-getter.
How can you be a go-getter and clueless at the same time?
If you want an example, this is
this movie, yeah.
And then you have Sophia, who is not introduced in a way that you're ever going to be on her side, and she continues to just be nasty for no reason. So, like, 50% of the women or the female roles in this movie are annoying. And 50% of them, let's be honest, 75% of the female roles in this movie are annoying, and 25% of them are fine. Like, the Queen is fine.
I think, and it's something that we flag often in movies, is the way that women are written in these movies to either be, like, absolutely pathetic, unhinged, just can't let go of any control, or just, like, a straight up, like, bitch. And the men are always, like, besides the cousin in this, you know, he's kind of a dickhead. But men get off pretty easy in terms of characters.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
One day.
Yeah,
We will
one
see
day.
a change. Then Richard and Sophia kiss, but it's, like, super awkward to watch, and also Amber sees it. But again, we don't ask questions about it, because she's not here to ask the questions.
No.
She's just here to find something out.
She's here to find it out, yeah.
And so she, instead of just being like, hey, I saw you kissing Sophia, what's the what? She just decides to ignore Prince Richard for, like, the next few scenes. I'm sick of women who don't say what they mean, because Richard, like, pulls her aside and is like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand what's changed. I thought we had a really good time the other night. And she just, like, launched into this, like, I bet you say that with every woman, and I bet, like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, why don't you just say, hey, I saw you. She does eventually, but it takes a while.
It takes a while, yeah.
For her to be like, I saw you kissing Sophia. I don't want to get involved in anything that, like, I don't want to be in the middle of anything. And he was like, no. If you had, like, oh, no, that's nothing. And I think that's the thing, is that, I guess, like, how often in real life do you, as the person who has been dating someone, walk into a situation where that person is kissing somebody else?
But are they dating?
I don't know.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are. Right?
Yeah. Like, they're vibing.
They're 100%
Right?
vibing.
So if you want clarification in the vibing stage, just be like, I feel like this is going somewhere, but I saw you kissing someone else. So, like, I don't want to, like...
I can't remember how she saw the kiss. Was it, like, was she creeping through a door? Like...
She heard them talking, I think, and then she went and, like, up to the door.
Well, and then maybe that would have been weird if she did bring it up. I don't know.
Don't bring it up, like, right then.
No.
But, like, just be like, hey, I walked past... I thought I was going to ask you a question, but when I walked in...
just, like, make something
like,
up. Like,
whatever.
Yeah.
After the conversation, everything fine. They go back to normal. He kisses her because he's like, this is how I feel.
Yeah, it was a mid-movie, well, past midway.
Three-quarter movie.
Three-quarter movie kiss.
Yeah. And I was just like, ugh. Because I think she asks a question and he just kisses, like, the response is he just kisses her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, did you read the next note?
Because I have the same one. I love that.
So our next note.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your mid-movie kiss
I just
spiel.
think that, like, is it like, is it still really romantic when you're, like, saying how you feel and someone just, like, cuts you off?
But also, is it, like, romantic when you're kissing someone saying how you feel about someone who's, like, literally lying to you?
Yeah.
That's also weird.
I mean, she knows she's lying.
I mean, she knows she's lying. She apparently feels fine about it.
Yeah.
She feels pretty darn good. She is not feeling...
She's like, actually, I could live as Martha forever.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah.
I can't be a tutor because I know nothing.
No, she doesn't
other than
know
English.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
when talking about being a tutor, towards the end of the movie, Emily gifts Amber a Christmas present because she's like, you treat me like a human being, and I've really appreciated the 2 weeks we've spent together. And I just wrote, she's a princess. I just want to put it into context.
Yeah.
She's a princess with all the riches, all the money at her disposal. And she buys Amber a Pandora charm bracelet.
Yeah. I could not believe when she opened the box and it was Pandora. I was like, are you kidding me? Because I thought the same thing. I was like, you could buy her anything.
You could buy her a car. You could buy her a house.
And you chose Pandora? Nothing wrong with Pandora, but, like, it was clearly, like...
Yes.
A sponsor, something.
And, like, to be fair, as a child, you probably would. You know, like, but that's any child. Not the princess of a country.
Is this the moment before the stylist and stuff come in? Yeah. Well, you know.
Yes.
Have money for, like, stylists and makeup artists and all that, but Pandora.
Yeah. It's a Pandora bracelet. I giggled. I giggled so much. Yes, and then she gets a makeover because they're going to a ball.
Yeah. And
she's about to put on, like, a smock dress. Which we have never seen. We haven't seen yet. She had managed to pack almost an outfit for 2 weeks straight.
She knew she was obviously going to, I don't know. Yeah. What did she pack for?
Yeah, I don't know.
She packed dresses, apparently.
She packed 2 dresses.
Yeah.
One is a spaghetti strap dress in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
And the other one is a sleeveless, like, it's just like a A-line dress.
Yeah.
And Emily's like, no.
Yeah, absolutely not.
We're going to a ball,
yeah.
So I've brought people in who will dress you, do your hair, do your makeup.
But she still wears the Converse shoes.
She still wears the Converse.
It's terrible. The dress was nice. She looked nice.
The dress is really nice. She does. She looks really.
I just don't think she needed to show the shoes.
No. But it's the character trait, right? Where she's like, I'm still quirky me, and the princess is like, hey.
I hate her. Like, I hate how she thinks she's so quirky.
My favourite bit about the ball, though, is as the music starts, we see the band.
Yeah.
And if you go back and just watch this one bit, and you look at the guy playing, I can't figure out if it's a double bass or a cello. That's on me. I'm so sorry. I'm going to say with double. I'm going to stick with double bass.
Was he standing up?
No, he was sitting down.
Oh, then it's a cello.
Great. There we go.
I would say double bass.
It's huge, right? So he looks like they have probably filmed this scene like 100 times, and he is over it. He is done. He is not having a bar of anything.
What's his face
and they
doing?
slowly zoom in and pan away. He's just like
deadpan. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So good. And then we get to the coronation of the prince because everything's going to happen. Simon's married Sophia because
they find out about Richard.
They find out
about Martha / Amber.
Yeah.
She goes home. Well, tries to go home.
She tries to go home. Everything happens. You know, the usual conflict in a royal movie.
Yeah.
But there is a wireless microphone on a mic stand at this
coronation. Oh, sorry, that part of the coronation. Yeah.
Before they're like, he can't be king.
Yes.
It's in the middle of the stage area of the palace.
Yeah.
A very normal looking wireless mic stand, the whole deal, that is not used at all. They just stand either side of it.
But also, having seen a coronation, these coronations, there are like 3 in this movie, are wild because it's some man in a tux with tails.
I think it's the Prime Minister.
Incorrect. Like, that's wrong. That's not how it happens. Again, we should know enough. Even Princess Diaries 2 did it correctly.
Yes.
they had like an archbishop or someone, like a priest or someone doing it. That's how you do it. Mm-hmm. You don't do it on a stage, Christmas Eve, with some dude.
And a mic.
That you're not using.
That's not on, because the guy is just yelling anyway, so you might as well take the microphone.
Because a coronation is like a big thing. Like it happens in a church, first of all. Well, except in... I don't know why I keep referring to Princess Diaries too. As if
Princess
it's historically
Diaries
accurate.
is the only way we know about anything.
No, but when you watch like things like The Crown, or even seeing Prince Charles, King Charles, whatever, and, you know, footage of, you know, the Queen.
Yeah.
It was in a church. Yes. Very big church.
Very big church.
Very big deal.
Very big deal.
I'm sure the same happens in Denmark and stuff like that.
Very small.
Yeah.
Tiny country.
Tiny.
They don't have churches. Just the castle.
Yeah.
The castle that...
Oh my gosh.
Is only decorated on one side. So there's a moment where we get a wide shot of two sides of the building, and one side decked out in fairy lights. From head to toe, fairy lights. The other side, pitch black.
Yeah. Amazing. Also very green screened castle. Also, I don't get why the castle is so far away from everything. That's quite off-brand for a royal castle, in my opinion.
Yes.
Based on, I don't want to say Princess Diaries, but we went to Denmark.
We did.
And
the castle is in the middle of the town square.
Yes, and we've been to Buckingham Palace.
We have. In the middle of London.
In the middle of London. Windsor, I mean,
it's very
far out, but there's
at least Legoland, so
but at least there's a town, like it's a town. Yes. This is like in the middle of nowhere. And it's like
at the top of the hill, like it's still embedded in Windsor.
Yeah.
Like it's not,
This was like surrounded by forest, like nothing else was around.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, so then obviously this first one gets cancelled because old mates Simon and Sophia had found the documents, told everyone everything's wrong with the world.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And then I wrote, evil schemes automatically mean an evil marriage. So Simon and Sophia get married.
Yeah, they do.
Like, straight up.
Yeah.
He's just about to, he's like, coronate me. And the guy's like, it's Christmas Day. And he's like, I don't care, get the Queen. This is happening immediately.
Yeah.
And then the king had left an acorn decoration, and Amber realizes that the poem, she's in the airport, and she's on the phone to her dad, and her dad says something that she's like, oh, this poem that I found with Prince Richard, it's the acorn decoration. There's something in the acorn decoration. Yeah. So they open up the acorn, they find the amendment to I'm going to call it the Constitution. We don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is.
And everyone lives happily ever after, and except at this point Amber goes back home heartbroken.
Oh yeah.
And then Richard turns up.
Yeah.
Which I really like. Like, of all the parts of the movie, I really like that he went to her.
Yeah, but she's so weird for writing a blog about him.
Yeah, she quits her job because her boss is like, you've given me a fluff piece. It's too heartfelt. I wanted scandal.
Yeah.
And so she quits her job and decides to start a blog about Prince Richard.
Yeah, like literally dedicated to him. Some fangirling blog.
About who he is forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
For realsies.
And then for realsies, they kiss and he proposes.
They've known each other for 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah. 2 weeks. He's known her as Martha for majority of it. Yeah.
Which, wild to me.
Yeah.
Wild.
Alright.
I did find 3 things that I liked.
I did, but I'm looking at our ratings.
I have rated it higher. Only because I've watched it 3 times now. This is the last time.
Before, I only counted 8 trees. I don't think that's right. It felt very low on trees.
I feel
very high on wreaths and garlands.
We were also in the same location for a majority.
But also, I didn't count all the trees in the office. Like, there were, like, lots of little electronic trees everywhere. I was like, I can't... I'm not counting those. I'm counting, like, proper trees. Alright, so, I said 3 things.
Mostly good acting. Like, for the most part... The acting is good. Is the script good?
No.
No. Is the acting good? It's okay. It's pretty good. I do like the chemistry between Richard and Emily. Like, it does feel like he's a significantly older sibling. And I think that plays off really well. And I like his dynamic with the Queen. So, like, there are a few good moments in it.
Yeah.
I also think it's a good combination of, like, every Hallmark movie we've ever watched and Princess Diaries.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true.
And I love a castle.
Yeah.
Even when there's only lights on one side. But, yeah, it's a nice... I just love... It's the big staircases and the cool aesthetic. Yeah. I just really like it.
Okay, overall, I didn't like this movie.
No.
I found it extremely uncomfortable to watch, really cringe. I reluctantly wrote that some of the acting was good, because there were moments where the acting was good, but I do think there were more moments of bad acting than there were moments of good acting. But I have to acknowledge that some of the acting was still good, because I also had to come up with 3 things. And then I thought the decorations, it didn't feel over the top.
No.
There weren't millions of trees, according to my tally. And I liked that. I don't like it when I see 10 trees in one room. I thought everything was quite tasteful. And then, the scenery and, the castle, whether it's green screen or not. I mean, I'd go there.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to live there.
Absolutely.
All very good.
Now, this may be the biggest difference in ratings that we've ever had.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'm trying to, like, the first watch of this movie, I actually didn't mind it. Like, I didn't hate it. I was like, and I was happy to watch it again when the third one came out, because I was like, why not?
Yeah.
And even now, when you were like, let's watch something from Netflix, I was like, A Christmas Prince, not the best Netflix Christmas movie out there, but not, like, terrible. So considering I've now watched it 3 times, I have rated it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I've rated it a 4 out of 10 because I didn't like it the first time. And I forgot what it was like. So when I rewatched it the other day, I went, oh, okay, that's right. And yeah, I don't know. The 3 things, I really reached for those. Huge reach for those 3 things that I liked, because there was a lot that I didn't like. And I just feel like Netflix could have done a better job. And I don't know why. I was an idiot the other night because I started watching the second one.
Oh, really?
And then I watched 2 minutes of it and I tapped out. I was like, this isn't for me. That's okay. So I didn't.
So you didn't like it so much that you decided to watch the sequel?
I started because I was like, what happens in this? Well, I was like, I don't know what my thought process was. I was just like, let's give it a go. And I regretted it straight away.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, it's not the worst thing we've seen, but there was a lot that I didn't like. A lot of characters that I didn't like. A lot of acting choices that I didn't like. Yeah, and I felt forced coming up with 3 things, because I often don't come up with 3 things.
You don't.
And I forced myself to.
Well, that's an average of 5.5.
Okay.
Which, like, not the worst rating out there.
Apparently better than Angel Falls Christmas.
Better than Angel Falls. Better than Choose Love. Better than The Convenient Groom.
Yeah, I would say...
Better than The Christmas Doctor.
I would say this is all very true.
Better than This Little Love of Mine.
But what's, like, above it? Like...
Better, what's above it is, like, Only Just is, like, Love on a Limb. Autumn Dreams.
Oh, jeez.
My Christmas Love.
What was Candy Crane Christmas?
Candy Crane Christmas was 4.
I would still say that. Yeah, this is probably better.
5.5,
maybe.
Look,
just.
And what a way to end our year.
Yeah.
Our Christmas day.
Yeah.
Rating a Christmas movie slightly above average.
And like calling like half the characters like bitches or something. I'm a terrible person.
We're just trying to make it really we're trying to get all the audience.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, team.
Yeah.
Next fortnight is a new year.
It is a new year, so we'll be doing a new year movie.
We will. It's called Midnight at the Magnolia. Why can't I say that word? It is on Netflix.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch before you listen to our episode, give it a go. It's not bad.
Not bad.
Spoiler. I'm trying to encourage you to watch it. It's not a Hallmark movie.
No, it's a Mar Vista.
But we don't get a lot of the New Year's movies here.
Yeah, it's not a common thing at all. So you gotta choose something.
And we have. So watch it. If you would like to tell us that we are mighty wrong about the rating we gave A Christmas Prince, you can do that via Instagram or TikTok at HallmarkedPod. I almost said at A Christmas Prince. You can send us an email to tell us how wrong we were at hallmarkedpod@gmail.com.
You can tell us in the street.
You can tell us as you walk along. Yeah. I love it when we get a message. We've had some messages lately about maybe Christmas movies being filmed in our location.
Yes.
And
I do appreciate that people are coming to us and being like, have you seen this? Oh my gosh, this video is so funny.
We get the same reel sent to us 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, sent to us for sure.
I love it. Keep it coming, team.
Yeah, we like it.
So good. Well, Merry Christmas,
Merry
Sarah.
Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas to all. But Merry Christmas, KB.
Merry Christmas.
We hope you all have a lovely festive season.
Yeah.
Keep cool if you're in Australia.
Yeah.
Keep warm if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. We will be keeping cool.
We will.
Yeah, we'll be keeping cool.
It's a task and a half.
Yeah.
But if we haven't melted before the new year, have a listen to our next episode. And if you have any movies that you would like us to watch, let us know.
Yeah, because we're ready. We're ready for a new year. More movies.
More maybe Christmas movies next year.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
Yeah, true. That's true.
All right, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.